My buddy who hooked me up with the tickets, I gotta mention this. My friend Patrick Foster, thank you very much for hooking me up with the free tickets for this evening. That was very much appreciated. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing? It's Kenshin, and I am here with the crew, with Danny, Zach, and Brett, and we just went through District of the Dead out here in Lackawanna, well, technically West Seneca, New York, and it is the first haunted house I've gone through of the season, and we are here to present our opinions and reviews on things. Yeah. I think I'll go last since I'm usually the more analytical and talky one, and I'm more experienced with these things, so let's just pass it around. We'll go house by house. So, Brett, let's get everyone's opinions first on Fate 1 of Quarantine.
All right, well, that was my very first haunted house thing ever, and from what I got, it was fun. I don't really think it was scary for me, but, I mean, you know, I liked how much effort they put into it. Like, the set was pretty cool. Like, it was interesting props, interesting makeup. I thought it was neat.
Zach?
Well, I really did enjoy it. It definitely wasn't as scary as last year, because last year was my first experience in a haunted house. There was the original Quarantine. There was a little bit more chainsaw freak on me.
And the original Quarantine was a little more claustrophobic.
It was very claustrophobic in there. But I really did enjoy it. Like, the fact that there's Fate 1 and Fate 2, and all, again, like Brett said, all the props and makeup, I really think that really added to it.
Danny?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, like, usually I don't go to haunted houses, but that was really cool because the people there are just like really active with you, and they usually follow you around like from behind you too. So I was like, oh my god, I was not expecting that. Yeah. And, like, I was always in the back, so like they'll come up to me and they'll like whisper in my ear. I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, but for Fate 1, it was pretty cool. I mean, the guy chased us with a chainsaw, which is probably
that's a must.
Yeah, it's a must. It was pretty scary actually, but
glad I was
it's definitely worth it
for that.
Yeah,
it's definitely worth it because I was in the back. I was like, oh my god, no.
So, as for my take on Quarantine Fate 1, what I found really cool was what they did with Quarantine, because last year when District was with Final Fear, Quarantine was one long house, and it was excellent. What they did here was sort of, they split it up so that you got to go through it twice. You know, you entered at Fate 1 and Fate 2, and then as you proceeded through, halfway through there were 2 doors, and you entered according to which one you entered originally to, so you'd get a unique experience the whole way through. And I quite like that, because it's something different. It's a similar theme, but it's not the same things. And one thing that a house like Quarantine highlights that it does much better than something like, say, Fright World, is the fact that there's tactile interaction with things and confusion. Oftentimes, in a big budget thing like Fright World, you know where you're going. And I mean, okay, you know, you want to be able to get through, know where you're going so you're not getting congested and stuff. But part of the actual fear that's generated is when you are in a foreign landscape and don't know what's going on, where to go, and you know that there's people out there who mean you harm, if you will. And I like that, you know, you're opening doors and actually, you know, pressing on things, and there's the false walls and stuff, instead of like, hey, go this way, there's this doorway there. You know, you actually gotta search and find stuff, and darkness is used really well. But the fact that you're actually touching stuff, rather than, you know, you touch something and someone slaps you, no props, don't touch the props. You know, it's no fun like that. But if you're touching stuff and actually going through it, it adds to the experience quite a bit. Fate 1 of Quarantine was pretty cool. Basically, again, the idea of Quarantine, as you would imagine, is a zombie-filled city, you know, quarantined. It is quarantined, and they do the concept very well with all the props and stuff. It's almost reminiscent of something from Dying Light, if you will. You know, going through people's apartments and abandoned restaurants and what have you, raiding through everything, trying to, you know, just get through, perhaps. You know, what I love about a haunted house is that it allows you to craft your own story and your own experience. And now, while District of the Dead may not have the funding that Fright World does to pull off all these amazing sets and everything else, they do very good with what they've got. And to me, that almost means more than some grandiose showing of, hey, look, I've got cash. What means something to me is the fact that there is effort, love, and passion put in. And I can see that because it crafts a dynamic experience. It's not like you're just meandering about in some place that feels like one thing. This thing constantly felt like you were going through different areas of the city. The chainsaw guy was always a welcome addition. And my buddy who hooked me up with the tickets, I gotta mention this. My friend Patrick Foster, thank you very much for hooking me up with the free tickets for this evening. That was very much appreciated. And, buddy, I wish you could have gotten that chainsaw started.
Tension.
Yes, that was, even if you didn't get the chainsaw started, I gotta say, that was probably the highlight of my night.
It definitely freaked me out. I was like, oh shit.
It was. And you know what? It's you know, because I enjoyed it, the hell out of it regardless, because there was something really cool to, you know, being called out by name, as you people know me on YouTube, by being called out as Kenshin, because people I know call me Mike, but people on YouTube, they call me that, so it was really cool to have sort of the online world entering into my real world, and so that was cool. He called me, I was getting ready to fire up the chainsaw. It didn't work out, but what's up, Brett?
No, I'm just...
It didn't work out, but it was great and really was quite the highlight of my experience. So it wasn't some failure or some, it was awesome. And overall, I really liked it. I liked how it worked and how it fit the concept. And so after that, we then went into, what was that? Entity. Which the theme of that was ghosts, evil, devils, possession.
I think that was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, so let's pass it around. Brett, first.
That was definitely the most entertaining for me. I'm not usually into the zombie thing, which is kind of what Quarantine did. It doesn't really scare me. Ghosts usually tend to, like, if I do get scared, scare me more.
You can shoot a zombie, you can't shoot a ghost.
Yeah, you can't shoot a ghost. Ghost can get inside
Horror
you, too.
logic, folks.
All right.
Horror 101 with Kenshin. But I like the fact this one was a lot bigger because Quarantine
had to fit basically 2 houses.
Yeah, it had to fit 2 houses, so like Entity was 1 house. And there was a lot more actors involved, I think, in Entity. And they were a lot more memorable than just like the zombies, because one guy called Dan cute, so that was...
Did he really?
That was interesting. Well, one girl.
Yeah, one of the Exorcist, like the Exorcist girls, she was like, I called her cute, and she's like, "Oh, thank you, bae." And I was like, "Oh, she's
my
cute."
god."
Well, see, Danny, you're getting the shot here, Danny.
If you're watching, hi.
He's available.
He's available.
And he's very, very cute.
Desperate.
Desperate.
Super
Actually, you know what?
Yeah,
This is a car full of desperation. Desperation.
He's cute.
I have a girlfriend. What you mean?
Desperation.
I'm working on it.
He's working on it. There's half desperation in this car.
Half this-
All right, so Zach, your feelings? Were you already saying? I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't say anything yet, you goof.
Zach's opinion on things. Zach, my friend, go for it.
Entity.
All right. Well, it was, as I said before, it was definitely my favorite because, like Brett said, I do love the zombie stuff. Zombies get me every time. Well, not like scary, but like.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, Brett didn't fucking say that.
Well, no, you said
What's
you said you prefer ghosts to zombies because they scare you more.
Oh, yes.
So I'm trying to get at that.
Oh, excuse me.
It's okay, babe. But
some ASMR crinkles in there.
well, as
almost eating
for that
juice.
reason, I did enjoy Entity more. And again, the actors were a lot more interactive. They were like really up on you. Like
Yeah.
they were like, wrong way.
Yeah, the clowns.
Yeah, and then they were just having a good time, and they were really passionate about it. And like Mike said before, they don't really have the big name funding that Fright World has. So the fact that they can get people who are that passionate in there to still, you know, make you have a great experience, that's something pretty special in my opinion.
Yeah. Entity, your
All
opinion.
right, for me, for Entity, I thought it was pretty cool because, you know, it was the biggest house out of like all the 3, but it's also very long. And like the walls, I kept bumping in the walls because like on the walls.
You're a big boy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Plus it was pretty dark in there.
Plus size.
It was really dark too, and yeah, they kept messing around with us because they're like, "Oh, going the wrong way," and we kept going the wrong way. We kept like walking in circles, so it was really cool because you know you're in there for longer instead of just like walking out. You gotta find your way.
Yeah.
And for me, like personally, like I'm really scared of like the Exorcist kind of girl, but she was really nice, so.
Let's get her phone number.
No, I didn't.
God damn
Unfortunately.
It was
I didn't.
666.
Oh, just like the the free herpes.
Free
in,
herpes.
Free
quarantine.
herpes.
Make sure in
Free
quarantine
herpes.
you check out the free herpes and the.
Get yourself a cup of free herpes.
Well, then there's the $6.66
For a
Muffin.
for a muffin.
Sure, why not?
brain
Blood muffin.
For a tetanus muffin.
And then $11.111. I don't know how that
Fucking
works.
extortion.
Prices are outrageous.
Outrageous in the zombie.
That was definitely the
apocalypse.
best one. I mean, you guys should definitely go for Entity.
Now, my take on Entity. The zombies, like I said, they are physical things. It's easy to pull off. You do a little decayed flesh, maybe some blood, and some, you know, and whatever. Actually, Zach, you know what? You do a little decayed blood. You do a little bleeding. You know, you do a little decayed flesh. You do a little bit of the. I was going for a high. Let's try that again. No. You gotta get in the sentence here.
Right,
zombies, they're easy to do, you know? I mean, you got the blood, the decaying flesh, the... But ghosts are... I did that. Ghosts are a little harder to nail down, because, you know, how do you avoid the, you know, the spooky bedsheet, the... Ooh, Scrooge, repent! Yeah.
You gotta rock.
Huh?
You gotta rock.
You gotta rock! And they did that extremely well. Because, again, you know, you have these big name things like Fright World, again, good stuff, and Catacombs. Well, we know how I feel about Catacombs.
Doesn't like Catacombs.
No. However, here, they have people who are doing it not because, oh, I'm an actor, I want to get paid. They're doing it because they love it, and they have a blast with it. And they take the concept of the paranormal and insert this into it really well. The experience of it is, I quite like the idea, again, as I craft my own story as I go through, it felt like you were perhaps in what was once a normal home, but it shows not many signs of it being that way anymore. Something totally transformed by a demonic entity, name drop. Whoa! Something transformed by a demonic entity and is now just some twisting, shifting, winding corridor of hell. Creepy music. Ooh. And it's really neat because, you know, you enter in this like underground looking skeletal corridor, and there was plenty of good stuff going on there. Again, the tactile stuff is great because, you know, it's no fun if you're just kind of like keeping your hands to yourself. If you're trying to open doors and stuff, and even some simple like pushing a door when you should be pulling it, it adds to the tension because you're like, shit, I don't want someone to get me while I'm trying to get this. And it's great.
Yeah, I definitely felt that kind of feeling in you.
Oh, yeah. It was like, I know I should be pulling it, but it's already too late.
Yeah, also, we got lost.
Yes, that's what I want to mention. There were 2 occasions where we got lost, and it was awesome. It was one of the best moments.
I really like the guy with the machete. Like, he gave me really good vibes.
Yeah, because, again, when you're walking through a place and you know where you're going, Danny, please get in the shot a little bit more.
Come on, babe, let's go.
But don't block Zach, please.
No,
Well, see, that's
What if you move the
what I'm
camera?
trying to do.
Huh? What if you move the camera?
What about the camera?
Like, shift it a little towards
Because there is kind of some empty space over your shoulder. There we go.
There we go. Beautiful. We can get everyone in there.
Aww.
But, you know, it's cool when you know where you're going and stuff, whatever. But the real actual fear sets in. Not the, oh, God, someone jumped out at me. But the actual fear the tension of not knowing where you're going. Again, in a strange...
Tension.
Tension.
The Kenshin tension.
Wow, the puns. The puns are real.
Can I please
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Please, so hey, Dan, I'm looking at you, please. A little bit of respect. Thank you. Thank you.
Dan.
That wasn't even that good.
Dan,
That's pretty good.
I think I know. I think that you know what they just did to me. Tell them what they just did to me.
We interrupted.
Oh, you got it. No, tell them what they just did to me.
They interrupted him.
No. But where did they put me?
In the fucking trash!
Oh, they put him on blast!
Wait, what?
Blast!
They put me straight on what?
Blast!
I love it. But yeah.
Put him on blast.
The Kenshin tension was real.
The Kenshin tension.
And when you don't know where you're going, though, it adds some actual Kenshin tension to everything. Because you're...
Again, are we gonna make that a thing? Urban Dictionary.
Sure.
Kenshin tension.
Someone out there who's watching, go on Urban Dictionary and make that entry, and I'll love you a long time.
Like, I just, like, choked on my Loganberry.
I hope you die.
Thanks,
Oh, boy.
babe.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow.
But anyways, it adds a really excellent level of actual fear to things. Because much like the pushing and pulling of the door and getting worried, like, oh my God, I'm not doing it right. This actually adds a really awesome level of it to things. And it's not just like, oh, where do I go? It's a larger open space with branching pathways that circle into each other. And you are like, oh my God, where do I go? Because I am screwed.
A lot of dead ends.
Dead ends. And oftentimes the way you're supposed to go, you're either thinking, maybe this is where the actors are supposed to be, so this isn't right, or 2, it's just too damn dark and you can't see. And there's a lot of false walls. It's a lot like Dark Souls, you know? A lot of false illusory walls that you just gotta get lucky on by pushing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt like this was probably, we were all kind of going in there buddy, like, ha, this is silly.
That's what, yeah.
So, but, I mean, that was, like, the dead ends and everything, if you were going with your friends and you weren't
being goofy bastards.
Yeah, you
That actually kind of happened to us when we went down that one pathway, and I could swear I saw an arrow on the wall, and it just actually kind of closed off to something like this. I actually got scared because you all were behind me, and I'm like, shit, I've led us into a dead end.
And then there's the machete guy too. He was just kind of
he was just kind of there.
Yeah, so...
Oh, remember the machete guy was like right behind me. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even...
Eventually, the machete guy showed our friend the way here out.
Yeah.
Because as much as it's great to be lost, you can't have people lost forever because then everyone's going to back up. It's going to end up like traffic.
Yeah, he was just chilling, following us around. And
Yeah, because
because
you know what? I think he knew we were scared enough not knowing where to go. And that actually happened again near the end of the house. And, you know, again, what I like that they do here, it's different props. It's not the same stuff. It's a constantly shifting, changing thing. It's not like Fright World. Again, I keep drawing a comparison here because that's something everyone knows. It's not like Fright World where every year you're like, oh, look, it's the same bloody gurney. Oh, look, it's the same door. Oh, look, it's this. Because, like, let's take the asylum in Fright World. They say they change up the layout every year. Okay, that's good. But you always have that one consistent thing, the long corridor with the gurneys and the shelves and the bloody sheets all like that crisscrossing, so you gotta snake your way around and everything. And that's good, but you know where you're going. It's predictable. You see the same stuff every year. And here, this is something different. It's unique props, you know, and again, you're walking through your own unique survival horror experience. And as you're going through this, and when you get lost or you don't know where to go or uncertain, and the actors strike at that right moment when you are in a state of, it's great. And we also got lost again near the end of the house when this room filled with like a purple light mist of sorts.
Yeah, the blue.
The blue light room,
blue
yeah.
room.
And that was also great fun.
That was the one with the clowns, and they were the most. They were probably the most fun.
Yeah, they were
having
like
a great
crawling
time.
along
They were
the
like,
floor and stuff. Yeah, that was just fun because they
that was
kept
just
it in
fun.
character. Again,
that laugh is pretty legit.
I love
I
when
definitely
the actors, and they excelled in that here, is when they take that character and man, they run with it and they have a great time.
Yeah, I definitely would have just broken down laughing and just broken.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
props to them for that.
It makes it more fun for someone like myself when you can tell they're having fun. There's two great ways. Either you can tell when they're taking it so serious and they kick its ass and do it really well. That's great. But also when, you know, maybe it's not the greatest, best in the world, but you can tell they are loving it and they are totally into it. That's almost more satisfying because you know they're enjoying it too.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was a really fun house because of the take on it and because I feel they really nailed accurately the spooky, scary, you know, demons and ghosts aesthetic. And then after that, we did the second version of the
Fate 2.
Choose Your Own Fate of Quarantine Reloaded. And I will pass it back to Buzzcut over here to...
Buzzcut, yeah. You like that?
No.
They like it.
Oh, show me them sexy tits, babe.
If you like the Buzzcut, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Watch this, I'm just going to get like 400 dislikes.
And if you don't like the Buzzcut, please like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway,
Just do it.
Just don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. Just do it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Anyway.
What kind of can of worms did I just open?
Anyway.
Go on!
Fate 2. You know what? That was probably my least favorite. I'm not going to lie.
No, be honest.
No, that one wasn't really good for me. I feel like if they made the zombie world, the quarantine, if they made the quarantine like one big house,
That's what it was last year. Yeah.
It would have been a lot more entertaining to me. So splitting it up into two, it didn't really add anything, I don't think. So
It was just a little more of the same, I understand.
yeah, especially when we got to the guy who, you go to a room and you choose either door 1 or door 2. That's the choose your own adventure thing. And it was
because there's two unique entrances, two unique exits, and you know, the two midpoints through. Basically, if you enter through 2, you choose door 2 partway through, you end up out exit 2. It works like that.
And my thing was that when there was the same guy each door you went through, and it felt
because it was the same room.
Yeah, and it felt really out of like. What's a good way to describe it? Like, it just didn't feel right, is the best way.
Yeah, because you were in one adventure and then felt like you got dropped
I saw
into
you
the next
already
one.
just 5 minutes ago, and like, so.
But you know, I mean, I give him
really
credit.
It was a lot of the. It was It was a lot like Fate 1.
I give him credit for trying that, though, because, again, it's not a point A to point B thing. There is a choice to make.
Yeah, it makes it
Though kind of inherently there isn't, because you choose the door that corresponds to your fate. But it's something new, and though I may not have 110% worked, I give him mad props for the fact that it was a unique take.
The one thing I did like about Fate 2 was that little, like that thing where you go through, like, the
inflatable tunnel.
The inflatable tunnel. I don't
hate that.
No, I like that.
I mean, like
I always ask Zach to grab my ass as we go through it.
yeah, I do.
Zach.
And he's never disappointed me.
He's never disappointed you.
Yeah, the guy kept following me like through the inflatable tunnel all the way to the end. I was like,
part of the
Really?
fun.
Which dude?
yeah.
The dude,
The last guy.
yeah.
The guy, was it Swamp Guy or wait, no?
Oh,
the Gilly guy?
Was it the Gilly guy?
Nah.
No, the Gilly guy stayed at the beginning of the sewer.
It was one of them, but it was really cool. It was
It's not your turn yet, Daniel!
Sorry.
Is it my turn now?
Well, if Brett's done.
Oh, really? You done?
Ah! Oh, okay.
But
The scares come with you into the car.
District why? Because we're actually in the parking lot of
Yeah,
District
we
of the
are.
Dead being loitering pieces of shit.
all right, but are you done,
Hi,
Brett?
people.
I am done.
All right. Well, I have to agree with Brett in the fact that it was.
Why would you do that?
What did I do?
Why would you agree with Brett?
Fuck you, Brett.
Okay.
Oh! Put him on
Shots
blast!
Shots fired.
Well, still. In all seriousness, I definitely do agree with Brett in the way that Fate 2 definitely was my least favorite. Like the atmosphere is pretty cool, but I don't think like there are a lot of like creepy crawly spider things.
Yeah.
I don't think like a zombie apocalypse would correspond with like giant mutated spiders trying to crawl up your ass.
But
I think a lot of the-
if you recall, Zach, they actually did have that last year as well.
I know they did, but still.
I think a lot of
Like-
the thing with zombies. Sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
With zombies not being scary is because it's so heavily in the media with like Walking Dead.
Hey,
Fear the
at
Walking
least they
Dead.
didn't do what fucking Haunted Catacombs did.
But I feel like with all the zombies in the media, it kind of tones down how scary they are because we're so used to them.
Do you want to know one sec, Zach? I don't mean to put you on pause here.
All right, it's cool.
But I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. But I have more respect for what they're doing here.
Oh yeah. I totally
Than what
agree with
Haunted
that.
Catacombs did. Let me give you a little love here, right? Haunted Catacombs, they're kind of on my shit list. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, boy,
They're on my
the
shit
tension
list.
rant.
Oh, we're not going on a rant.
We're feeling the tension. We're feeling the tension.
I already had my say on them last
All
year
right,
for
but
why they're on my
continue,
shit list.
continue.
But here's the thing: if you didn't see my video last year of Catacombs, well, I'm gonna give you the whole thing here. Catacombs doesn't change up its layout whatsoever, and it fucking sucks and it's lame. Okay, that's out of the way. Now here's the big problem relating to zombies. District of the Dead created their own unique house for it and has worked with it, modified it, and tried something new with it. More or less, hit or miss, yes, all right, it works. I like it. What Catacombs did, basically, to cash in on the whole zombies, Walking Dead thing, they took an existing house, which was Body Harvesters, which I quite liked. It was the gore thing, you know, it was like a slaughterhouse, basically. And it was cool. And what they did, they basically took everything in there, scooched it over just a little bit, and then basically in the space that they had opened up, they built another house, which was a prison-based thing, and they connected the two under the name The Walking Undead. Fucking clever, right?
Oh boy.
But here's the, so basically they built a
But
whole
wait,
new-
if they're the Walking Undead, aren't they just alive?
Exactly. But they didn't want to get in copyright. They used like really similar posters and everything, same font. They went the works.
It's a counter negative.
Yeah, it is. But see, the thing is, the prison thing was really lame and clandestine and sucky. But what really pissed me off is that the second part of The Walking Undead. Wow! The second part of that was literally Body Harvesters with no changes under a new name, which was The Walking Undead.
Was it fun?
No, it fucking sucked. Because as Body Harvesters was, I liked it. But when I went through it, I'm like, okay, you're saying this is a new house with a new theme, but this is literally Body Harvesters with a new name with no fucking change up whatsoever. And yet you're saying, no, this is the new house, it's The Walking Undead. Quickly. Ah! Excellent. And so that really pissed me off. So they weren't even trying, which is why it really left a bad taste in my mouth, and they're kind of on my shit list. They're trying. They're trying something new. They're not rehashing old things and not messing with old layouts. They're making something new. They're trying to get a new take on the zombie thing, because let's be honest, a zombie thing is kind of obligatory. I mean, it may be overdone to hell, but everyone wants it, so you got to give them what they want, and I understand that. But they're trying something new here. They're not taking an old house, slapping a new name on it, and saying, "Hey, it's a new house." No, they're trying something new, and that's greatly respectable. It's not like The Walking Undead.
Oh, sorry.
Ah! 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 Ah!
He lightly let it down.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Come on, come on.
into my part now?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes, yes. All right, now that the musical section is done, Zach, please.
All right. Well, like I definitely do agree with you on that whole rant you just went on completely. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. This is my
Your time
section.
is not now, John.
What time is? Go on, go on. Go on.
All right. But like, even though it was my least favorite, I definitely really enjoyed it. Like as before, the actors were really into it. I really liked the props, even though like the don't laugh at me, ho.
We're not. We're laughing at Dan.
God damn it, Dan. I'm sorry. But well,
Please
like
continue.
I think like the kind of like. What the fuck was that flailing thing in there, like behind the glass?
Oh, the fucking like Dead Space boss.
Yeah.
Dead Space ass, you know, flailing thing.
That startled you?
And it didn't startle me. I just thought it didn't fit. It was more.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because like right when I saw it, I'm like, did that look like something from a video game? So it kind of felt out of place.
Yeah, it definitely felt out of place. And again, with the same guy, I think it, like I have a good kind of metaphor for it. Like the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, for example. It's just like every time it's a different layout, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's still the same boss mom.
Boss.
Like a boss.
And it's just like it's the same. It's well, not like it's basically the same means to an end.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much.
And I mean, even though the concept was pretty cool, I think there should have been like no kind of middle section. Like it was either Fate 1 or you stick to that.
Or if there was, perhaps it should have been better isolated, so it wasn't, hey, here's door 1, here's door 2.
I definitely think it should have gotten out at a different exit. It was the same hallway we
Yeah,
exited through,
and if you did Fate 1 first, you saw the inflatable tunnel, so you're like, oh, that's how Fate 2's gonna end.
Yeah, so
You kinda knew.
that was kind of weak, but
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
just nitpicky.
Well, it was still pretty cool though. I
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
did enjoy it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. No. I'm gonna.
Oh, Dan's here.
My
Hi, Dan.
diatribe will go on and on. So, White Rice, please go on.
Oh,
All right, well,
you're
number
gonna get so many dislikes from Asian fans.
I love you
the
guys.
third one, quarantine number 2, Fate 2 or something like
Yes.
that. It was okay. I mean, we saw like a couple of the same people, and then also like there weren't as many scares or anything like that because it was more just kind of like looking because they did have that like Dead Space like boss looking thing. And there was something before it too. I forgot what it was. It was like some little like statue like covered in blood. But for the most part, the cool thing about it is like there's like a lot of places where you had to crouch down and go in.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was nice.
I did admire
Yeah,
that.
When you're crouching down, you're a lot more vulnerable.
Yeah, when you're crouching down, you're
scary.
looking behind you like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
But they also had like a moving floor too, which I thought was pretty cool.
Like it shook a little, and I
felt
was like,
off.
It was the kooky funhouse.
And then also the inflatable tunnel, which was the best because like it's like really squished, so like you're trying to make your way through. And the guy was right, like one of the people that are right behind me, they're trying to scare me, and I'm just like, oh, this guy's following me all the way out. I'm like, oh no, I gotta move fast. I'm just like, I don't want him to touch me or anything, so I'm just like, I'm out, going out, and then yeah, that's pretty much it.
so should we rate these or?
Well, I have yet to have my say. I'm 11.
I'm sorry.
Better be safe.
Bear.
Better.
Better.
All right.
But
So, and my take on part 2, I would have to agree with what these gentlemen said.
Oh,
though,
thank you.
Yes, the one thing though, 2 things. One, I know Danny, you mentioned about the crouching down. In the quarantine that myself and Zach experienced last year, there was a wonderful section where you were not crouching down.
were crawling.
You were crawling.
Oh, that would have been fun.
in
That was
pitch
really-
black
Lots
darkness.
scarier.
was it through a vent? What was it through?
It was meant to probably be like through a vent or perhaps like, you know, through a ruined warehouse. or
Definitely do
something.
that. Do that again.
Yeah.
I want to try
Yeah.
that. I'll
That
definitely
was
do
really
Yeah,
nice.
and what was nice because you could feel like the dirt and grass beneath you, and there was like, you know, the fencing on all sides, and it was dark, and you could hear them pounding and breathing. That was honestly very scary that last year.
Yeah.
And also to address the whole like Dead Space looking boss thing. I didn't catch it this year, but I remember from last year when we saw that freaky stuff, I recall that there was something like where it said we were going into the lab where the virus spawned.
Yeah, but there wasn't anything indicating that though this year.
Not this year.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, there was something like that last year where, you know, there was some indication. Actually, no, I do believe there was this year, but it was literally just like a biohazard sign.
okay.
Not enough to give indication. Last year, I pretty much remember I'm like, oh, we're going into the lab.
Yeah, it
and you
said
could
lab.
see. I think last year's quarantine was a little bit more thought out. But again, I got to give him props for, you know, trying something really new with this year's. I agree with everything there that they said, and my thoughts on the original Quarantine Fate 1 applied to Fate 2. I preferred Fate 1, but overall, my favorite would have been Possession. Would you all say Possession?
Entity.
Fuck! Why do I keep saying Possession?
Yeah, Entity was the best.
Entity.
Entity was definitely the
Entity
best.
was definitely
and
the best.
I mean, even if none of them were really scary, they were a ton of fun. All of them were fun.
And you all have your bottom line, and then I'll have my wrap-up tasting session. Brett's bottom line, or did you already say it?
I didn't say it. Bottom line, you know what? For like a low budget, they just did it just to do it thing. It was a lot of fun. I had a friggin' great time. Entity being my favorite. If like you're looking for them, go check out Entity. If you got to do just one, like if you're too scared, do Entity because that's the way more fun one. But they were all fun. Like even if they weren't scary, they were kind of spoopy.
Spoopy. Grab my hand.
Gotta put a link to that now.
Yeah, I gotta like put the video over it.
Spoopy. It was a ton of fun, and I think I had go with a group of friends. It's just a friggin' great time.
Yeah.
Or at least one if you.
Well, like, it was definitely amazing. I enjoyed last year with Final Fear and District of the Dead, but with just District of the Dead, that's a tongue twister for you. It was really amazing and really fun. Stop whispering! I'm gonna eat your ears, you fuckboys. But seriously, it was great. And as Brett said, definitely go with a group of friends to get like a full experience. Dan.
Big boy!
Danny!
For me,
Danny boy!
I mean, it's really cool.
The pipes are calling. Oh, Danny boy. The pipes are calling. Our piping.
Our Vader.
Our vaping. We get it, you vape. Go on!
Alright, anyways. Alright, for me, I don't go to a lot of haunted houses. Like,
Because you a bitch.
okay, yeah.
Pussy ass.
Why don't you
Fair
go to
enough.
a lot of houses, Dan?
Okay, because you know what?
Jealous.
I just never really go out to haunted houses.
But did you find this? How did you find this one?
This one, it was pretty good. I mean, for not going to a lot of haunted houses, it was pretty fun because, I mean, it's not like it was like really cheesy or anything like that. It's actually pretty like decent. Like it was pretty
They
fun.
tried.
Yeah, like they really did try. It was really cool because a lot of the actors, they're like very into their roles, which is pretty cool, and they're very like interactive. So that was pretty awesome. And like they would just follow you around, which was, you know, a little creepy, but that's part of the point. But it was really fun for the most part, and I enjoyed it. And I do think Entity is the best one if you want to try one. So yeah, that's my take on it.
All right, so my final remarks on this. So here's the thing. Everything in this review has to be analyzed under the lens that District of the Dead, I don't know their personal and financial things, but I think it has to be viewed under the lens that probably they had more funds to play with last year because they were in this with Final Fear. Final Fear was excellent last year along with District of the Dead. I don't even know whose that is. It's spooky.
Not mine.
But
Not mine. Oh! It was mine.
Oh, okay. But last year they were with District of the Dead. They were with Final Fear last year, and so they probably had some more funds to play with. So they were able to make things a little more interesting, perhaps. You know, they were able to make Quarantine more long, in depth, and detail with a lot more textural, dynamic stuff. They had the Mine Shaft. They had Doll Evil. They were able to do a little bit more. You know, this year I think it has to be viewed under the scope that they didn't have the big space that they had with Final Fear. Final Fear, they had the old mix over by the McKinley Mall there, and so there was a lot more space to play with and probably more fundage because they were probably splitting it halvesies or something. They got to do this place on their own. Unfortunately, Final Fear couldn't even find a place for themselves this year.
Ooh,
which kind of really sucks because I was hoping to see, you know, get to
I would have definitely.
get a hit.
Yeah, I was actually really looking forward to Final Fear too. I heard they were really good.
They are.
I haven't heard. I don't know much about it, but I keep hearing the name, and I heard they were a lot of fun.
I
Yeah,
heard
so
they were
it's a
really
shame that they weren't doing anything this year because last year District was with Final Fear and it created, in my opinion, the best horror experience in Buffalo. So I think everything that's being analyzed about District right now has to be looked at under the lens that they probably don't have the same amount of space, definitely not the same amount of space, definitely not the same amount of space and fundage to play with. So you gotta look at it like that, you know, did they do the best they could with what they had? You know, because last year I'm gonna assume they probably had more to work with. And I would say, what these two gentlemen back here are saying. Absolutely they did. They took probably what was not as much as last year, because last year, you know, like I said, you had a nice long quarantine, you had the mine shaft, and you had the lovely doll evil. Those were unique and interesting, and a lot of different props and stuff. This year, it kind of wasn't like that, but I think it's because it was coming from a lesser standpoint, because they didn't have as much, you know, ability to. But that almost isn't what matters. What matters is what you do with what you have, because you could have all the money in the goddamn world to make something, and if you don't have the passion, talent, and dedication for it, then it's just gonna fall flat. And unfortunately, fortunately, that's not what happened here. Here, it was, they took what they had, and they made some kick-ass with it, and some you...
Stop.
Fuck boy.
Sorry. Ah, I just got my light turned off.
It's some you really gotta check out. You know, because these are our locals. This is some, you know,
yeah,
little more, you know, everyone knows Fright World. Everyone knows Catacombs. Oh, fucking Catacombs. I fucking hate them. Everyone knows them. These guys, you know, not so much. You need to check it out. You need to see what the more not as well-known stuff can do, because it'll impress you, because they did a lot quite well. And I would have to say, again, Entity was my favorite as well, with a second being Fate 1 of Quarantined, and then third being Fate 2.
That's probably how I see it too.
And they probably took good advantage of the space they have here. I don't know. I could get a gauge of how big it probably is. They probably didn't have too much to work with. And I think they did well with what they had. It wasn't like Dick's, where they had plenty of free space, you know, to spread out and do everything. Dick's. You know, here they made good use of what they had space-wise, and I'm sure money-wise with the actors and the actual environments and the set design and everything. And again, I gotta say, my main man Patrick, thank you again for the tickets. Genshin. Greatly appreciated.
Work on starting up that chainsaw, man.
Yeah, buddy. But you know what? That really made quite a difference for me. That was the moment that really made my night right there. Even if the chainsaw didn't start up or anything, I loved it, and that made me really fucking happy. That was just so fucking awesome, man. You got no idea. That really just, I really appreciated that, honestly. The tickets and that was really, really awesome. So don't feel bad that chainsaw didn't work. So yeah, much respect for that. Really, thank you. So that's kind of the take on this. Highly recommend.
Should we have our final ratings?
Sure. I mean, I don't like to do numbers, but if you guys want to go ahead, then go for it.
What should we do, apples?
Well, I don't personally do numbers because I think it's too subjective. But you guys do what you want. I just say if I would recommend it or not. That's...
Out of 5, I'd give it a 3.5.
Out of apples, I'd give it Oreos.
But what the hell does that mean?
It's beautiful.
It's subjective, Mike.
Don't you give me that shit, brat!
I'm sorry. I'll just go tuck myself over here.
I can still see your hand.
You can't. Oh.
Put it away.
Put it away.
Put it away, fuck boy. Put it away. All right. So Zach and
that's not my hand.
Ooh.
And sweet and sour.
Me, I would highly recommend going here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I definitely liked it.
Yeah. And so basically, we will probably hit Fright World this year if you guys are down.
Yeah.
All right. And Catacombs can, let's be honest, fucking suck a fat one.
I can honestly say I've never seen Catacombs, so I can't.
Well, see, Brett would enjoy it because it was his first time going through. It would be his first time going through it. But once you go through it once, you've seen everything. Because they don't change it year to year. At least Fright World changes up its layout. These guys don't do shit.
All right.
You know, so fuck Catacombs. It can suck a big one. But Fright World, we're going to check it out. They've got an interesting haunted house based on flashlights, Night Stalkers, where you get a flashlight and you go through there. But the monsters have control of the flashlight, so they could turn it on or off at any time.
I like that idea. That sounds interesting.
I'm going to definitely check that out because Catacombs can go fuck itself. Fright World definitely has a lot to offer, but, you know, I like to check out, you know, my boys in District of the Dead first, and it did not disappoint. I greatly enjoyed it, so sometime before the end of the month, you'll see at least me and hopefully some of these mates return to take a look at Fright World, and then we'll, you know, regroup and figure everything out. But as for right now, after however long we've been talking, hope you enjoyed. Definitely check out District of the Dead.
We've been sitting in Dan's car, and it's getting stuffy.
Yeah.
We gotta get food now.
Yeah, actually, take a look here. The windows are all...
Just make it like smiley face at one point, but then it fogged up again.
Hang on, can I recreate a scene from Titanic? Go on your window. Your window.
Titanical?
Yeah, Titanic scene.
Yeah, go. And that's a wrap.
And on that
Please
note,
comment, like, and subscribe.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. And above all,
especially for the buzz.
and above all, I think I know what you all must do. Witness me!
We're dorks.